So why dating in America and all Western countries is done for average guys. If you're a superstar, you got 1 million followers, or you got 6 Bentleys, sure, you're good. If you already have a wife or girlfriend, your high school sweetheart, or you meet a great girl, there are still those 1 in a million needle in a haystack girls. But as a general rule, I think since about late 2018, the climate has really changed on dating. And a 7 can no longer get a 7. A girl that's a 5 thinks she can get a 10. And I think this is all because of the advent of social media, of Instagram, of Snapchat, of OnlyFans especially. Literally a girl that's not even qualified to be with you, or water seeks its own level. So normally a 7 would get a 7. That's just the rules of the world. If you take money out of the equation, you're young people or whatever, usually, if you're an above average looking person, you get an above average looking person. If you're a supermodel, you get a supermodel. If you're a ugly person, you get an ugly person. If you're a fat person, you get matched with a fat person. That's just the way life is. Water seeks its own level. But in 2018-ish, I noticed, because I was always in relationships, and when I first got to Las Vegas in 2008 from Los Angeles, I noticed that every girl would message me on every dating site. This is before swiping, but even when swiping was brought in later on, I noticed that every girl was swiping right. I'm getting 50 matches. If girls are sending their address, they're ready to hang out, they're this or that. And then I would be in relationships. I remember getting out of a relationship in late 2018 and hopping on the sites for a couple of weeks and realizing that nobody was swiping right anymore. And if they were, they had 4 kids, or they had a muffin top, or they were a heavy gal that wouldn't be of any interest, or they were trying to advertise pay for play, or they were transgender. And I just realized, I was like, oh wow, stuff really changed. There is no longer the big demand for regular guys. Now, if you're a celebrity, or you got 1 million followers, or you're sliding in the DMs, or you're out at a party with G-Eazy and Tyga, Delilah, sure. But if you're a regular Joe, I don't care if you're making 150, 180 a year, you got a Mercedes, you're a whole nothing in America. Now again, if you have your high school sweetheart, or you have, a great girl that you've known, or, you get lucky and find a 1 in a million, because there are great girls in America, but it's like finding a needle in a haystack, you're good. But if you don't, and even if you're working out 10 hours a day, you got a 6-pack, you are considered yourself relatively handsome, or you're a 7, you got to settle for like a 4 or a 5 in America. Every girl, for whatever reason, because of social media or whatever, thinks that they deserve a 10. They think that they deserve a famous guy. They think that they deserve a 7-figure guy, not a 6-figure guy. Probably because of Facebook and Instagram and comparing, and trying to keep up with their friends, or a drunk celebrity DM'd them one night, or even gave them a one-night stand. Now they think that's their level, especially in like major cities like LA or Vegas. And you got to understand that Instagram gave people exact direct access to everybody. Where before you couldn't DM with Drake, you couldn't DM with Justin Bieber, you couldn't DM with that reality star, you couldn't DM with that basketball player. Now that basketball player can DM women in Montana and ask to fly them out, so they're no longer going to date the local plumber that was their high school crush. So things just changed with the advent of direct messaging, and just like press releases. A celebrity doesn't need to do a press release anymore. They can now just do an Instagram live with their 1 million followers or whatever. It gave you direct access to people. Therefore, the top tier women all over the United States, and I'm sure other countries, could now get DM'd or DM ultra famous people. So you, as the dude that even makes 190,000 a year and has a Mercedes or something, you're nothing compared to a dude that has a Lamborghini and 17 million followers, or even a guy that was on a reality show for 10 minutes, or whatever the case may be. So you definitely want to keep that in mind, and just understand that there are better opportunities in places like the Philippines, South America, Thailand, Southeast Asia. It's just that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? You're no longer stuck in America. Our passport works well. Filipinas can't just book a flight to Los Angeles. That's not how their passport works. But ours does work that way. And that's why the Passport Bros movement has gotten so strong, and why people are leaving the Philippines, leaving America behind and coming to places like the Philippines, coming to Bali, coming to Vietnam, coming to Thailand, coming to South America, Brazil, Colombia, etc. It's just the grass is greener in this one particular case. And the standards of American women, they'll have this big checklist. A girl will be 43 years old and have 3 children by 3 different dads, and they'll be like, you need to be 6'2", you need to have an exotic supercar, you need to make $1 million a year, you need to wear all Gucci, you need to have blue eyes, and you need to hold my purse, and it's just ridiculous. Women now want a traditional masculine provider and protector, but they want you to hold their purse and they want to boss you around. So they want you to do as you're told, yet until someone breaks in the middle of the night, you can't tell them to handle that. You got to wake up and kill the person. When a guy grabs their ass at the bar, they want you to knock him out, but yet they don't want to retain their feminine values and their femininity and their submissiveness. They just want you to be a whole man while they're being a man too, unless it's a selected situation where they need physical muscle, or they need you to do this or that, or you have a connection with this or that. But they want men to be men still, but they don't want to be women anymore. Now, is this 100% of women in the West? No, it's not. But is this a great majority? Because I saw an Instagram clip the other day of a woman telling men how to be men. And it's just at a certain point, you need to have some frame, and you need to really, really stand on what you say, and you make the rules. Women decide when you have sex with them, men decide when you get a title for a relationship and when you get marriage. That's just the way it is. And you can't be too much of a sucker, and you can't be too agreeable to everything, because women will walk all over you. If a woman cheats on you and you take her back, guess who can cheat now? If a woman steals money from you and you take her back, guess who can steal money from you again? If you don't have some type of control in a relationship and you let a woman lead the relationship is absolutely doomed from top to bottom. You have no chance of the relationship actually flourishing, because you don't want a woman to be the leader. I don't care if she's got more money than you, whatever. Men in the old school way, not being chauvinistic, but in reality, men always make the final decision. You guys are buying a car, and especially if he's doing it with his money, we'll take your advice under consideration, and we may even go with what you say, but we'll make the final decision on that. You're buying a house, you're deciding, this and that. Men have always made the final decision, have been the quote-unquote head of household. Now, if you're Mariah Carey and you're dating a backup dancer, does that maybe go out the window? Sure. But in selected situations, sure, if you're dating a superstar, or sure if, whatever. But as a general rule, with normal human beings making $50,000 to $1 million a year, the man is the head of the household. The man is trusted to be the rock. The man isn't going to break down crying every night. The man isn't going to not know what to do. You need to be that woman's rock and always have an answer. And, men don't have a lot of outlets for, if they're depressed or they're confused or when they lose their job or something. It's just be a man, suck it up. It is what it is. So you just got to keep that in mind and understand why dating in the West is an absolute wasteland. I've done so many consultations, and every guy tells me it's a straight up graveyard. Some of these dudes are in their 20s. Some of these dudes live in the gym, and they said it's an absolute graveyard. It's these masculine women. It's these girls that are boss babes. It's these girls that are 6s that want you as a 9. And it's just no longer, there's never been a better time to be a woman in the West. There's never been a worse time to be a man, unless you're Ben Affleck or you're, a mega celebrity. And that's just the stone cold truth. So I moved to the Philippines 15 months ago. It's been great to me. I was dating international women in Las Vegas for many, many years before I moved here. Girls from Thailand, Japan, China, Lebanon, Iran, you name it. So, get your passport. Come see the world. Do a discovery trip. You don't have to move here like I did. You don't have to, a lot of people aren't equipped to do that, but you certainly want to at least get a little taste of it and see what it is, see what it could be when you have the finances properly aligned, or you have a digital gig or something. And come check it out. Come check out Philippines, Thailand, Southeast Asia, South America. I don't care if you go to Mexico. Get out of the West. Maybe Mexico, is not necessarily the strongest choice, but the Philippines is great. Women are fit, feminine, friendly. submissive. Yes, I know you're not allowed to say that, but they're very cooperative, and it's just a better life. My life in Las Vegas was a 7. My life here is a 10. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and sana all.